Yo, I just literally woke up. And I was like, oh, I have a little bit of time. So let me record another video of the stuff. But before we do that, let me show you a change in my interior design. Look how good this looks. I got a table so I can do like all my businesses on because I would be not have like a proper set for it. Have like table, all my screens are set up. Here's my another computer. There's a work computer. Da-da-da. It's pretty big. And look at this. It's going up and down. I love it so much. My boyfriend got it for me. I love it. I've been looking for like a good table for a while to use for my office space and stuff like that, for my like business and everything. And I just could not find the right table. And I was like, this is perfect. Like I love how it changes the height and everything. Oh my God. So that's one thing. Another thing, I got in a freaking accident. No, it wasn't an accident. It was a hit and run. Somebody, like while I was parked at my job, somebody scratched my car and freaking ran away. And it was a big ass scratch. And I'm like, So now my car's in the shop and I got like a rental and I'm waiting for my baby to get repaired. But yeah, it's so annoying. And they don't have no like video footage or anything. So, like I couldn't even track nobody down. Like I couldn't even do nothing. So frustrated. But I was like, you know what? Let me just record this video and keep telling you like what's going on. Nothing is gonna stop the hustle. Okay, so what did we stop last time? So last time I was telling you how at one of my jobs, one of my biggest managers, he came up to me and asked me to do a job, but he was not trying to compensate me for it. And he basically told me that he would tell the owners that I'm not doing my job. And I told him like, I didn't say nothing. I was like, I'm still not doing it unless you like paying me more for that, because it was just like a huge load of work to do. And while all that happened, I submitted my resume to LinkedIn and I got a job in the next few days. Literally, it was so crazy. And by the time like I came up to my manager, I told him about it. He was like, "Oh my God, la la la." But anyway, so I moved from my job because of that. So now I'm working closer to home, more money, more everything, and I'm like excited. Everything is good. The only thing is the parking. I was working in the downtown Boston, so the parking was like super expensive every single day. Oh, and I gotta get my lashes done. Oh my God, this weekend I've been so busy. Oh, by the way, we went to Newport Mansions on the past weekend. And we did got a slingshot and was driving around. Oh my God, so much fun. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put like a little like a video and picture here. But I actually did like a whole reel on my Instagram. So I'm going to leave my Instagram in the description below. So if anything, check it out. It was so much fun. Oh my God, it was so beautiful too. The ride over there is like an hour and a half. But if you're looking for like cool and great like date night ideas and stuff like that, that is so much fun. And it's just great. Like even if you go with a group of people or you go with your significant other, it's so much, and there's so much to do. And there's like food and restaurants and like places to see, places to walk around, ice cream shops, like so much. Like it's just amazing. So try it out, right? Okay, anyway, so I started working in downtown Boston, closer to my house, but parking, now we'll have to pay for parking, right? Even though they did increase my salary dramatically, but it was just, the parking was off, right? Well, first kind of red sign, but then red flag, but then I was like, oh, they're paying like, me more for, and this job, like as far as salary goes, so I'm like, it is what it is. But this is what started happening. So as soon as I get to this new job, right, we have, well, first of all, the interview went a little too crazy. Like the whole interview, we were talking about laughing the whole interview. It was one interview. It was And it was for a huge company. That was like, honestly, I was a little surprised because I never had such a huge company just interview me once and just be like, oh, okay, you good. You know what I mean? Usually it's like rounds and rounds of interview because, you know, they're like paying a lot of money to have me. So they're supposed to like make sure that I'm like a good candidate, right, for the job. So I need like a few people to interview me. But nope. We had a little interview. I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes, and the whole time we were just laughing. Literally just laughing about things. Like I was just telling them like, and at that time I had a flood in my apartment, and I told them about it, and they were just like, "Oh my god!" But nothing like too the concern work, like nothing related to work. Yes, they did ask me a few questions, but it wasn't as deep to even figure out like, you know, whether I'm eligible or not. So that was like another red flag that I was like, okay, let me see. Oh, and another thing during the interview, I'm just telling you like a red flags that might, you know, help you understand that some of the potential employers might be not as good as they sound, right? So I came over here, and on the first interview, I actually was interviewed by my upper management. And the whole interview, I'm trying to explain myself and trying to tell her about myself, but the whole time she was just like, like she was like so rushed to get off the phone that she wasn't even interested in what I was saying and what I'm coming from and what I am trying to bring to the table. And you'll figure out why in the future, right? So, okay, so then another flood of red flags. Already 3 red flags that I'm trying to like, you know, look past, but the pay is good. See, like a lot of people get like really caught up in how much a company pay. And it also always like, it's always important, like make sure you figure out what is important for you in the job. Like let's say if it's the pay, then it's one thing. If it's like healthcare, let's say benefits, location, anything like that, like how, you know, how friendly like your colleagues are and stuff like that. Like you have, you know, there's so many factors that you might want to consider for your best like employee place. But I was just like looking for money because honestly currently my job is just a source of a provider of the money. It's nothing like I'm trying, I mean, it's like it's a great income, but it's like I just know I can do more with my time that doesn't concern what I'm actually doing for paying bills now. But anyway, so figure out what you like in a career, like figure out what exactly you want from a company while you do, you know, you're doing your 9 to 5, so you can figure out what you should go for. But initially I did go for money. I did disregard like a lot of red flags, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. They pay more. That's what I'm after right now. And they did like a good. They did have a good schedule. They did have unlimited vacation time. By the way, remember that part. And it was just like, it was just great, right? So it was like, and it went much closer, la la la. So everything was like, okay, fine, whatever. Even though like those red flags like arise, you know, them not like trying to hear me out, listen me out, like not interviewing me properly. And then also like, I didn't like how, you know, at some point we started have to pay for the parking and stuff like that. But anyway, so as soon as I started with this job, actually there was like a group of 3 of us. So me, the main lady who wasn't trying to hear me out throughout the interview, it like kept interrupting, it kept like rushing me. And another lady who was working under her, and I was supposed to be like another her, basically, right? She was going on a maternity leave, and literally the same week that I'm starting. So while I was starting, she was the maternity leave girl. She was supposed to train me, right? So she trained me the whole time, but she only had a week, like 1 week. What can you do? Like, you can't do too much in 1 week, right? Especially when somebody started new, with a whole new system, with a whole new scale of work, with a whole new, like everything was new. When I was starting, I was not related. It was related to my previous career choices, and it was previously to my field of work, but it was slightly more, like a lot more different, right? So I actually was like I was a financial associate for a fund, right? instead of being an accountant. So it was just like, it was a little bit different, but it was still like, like, oh, what's going on? And I needed like more training for it. So, okay, so a week later, the girl for maternity leave, she leaves, and now it's me and the upper management girl right? So now we're working, everything is fine. I keep asking her, I keep coming up to her, and I was like, I'm like doing everything you ask for. Let me know if there's anything I'm doing wrong, because every time like I pass everything on to her, she's telling me, no, everything is great, thank you so much. Da, 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 da. So we are already 2 months in, and I'm asking for like a review. I'm like, let me know if you think like I'm doing anything wrong, or let me know if you like don't agree with something that I do. I love a feedback, like good feedback, so I can just like work on what needs to be worked on and improve what needs to be improved, right? So I was like, okay, is everything okay? She was like, yeah, everything is fine. There's just like a few things that, you just started, like but you're doing great, you're learning great, everything is great. So it was like around New Year's Eve. So usually by the end of the year, they give you bonuses, right? Even though I just started 2 months ago, my upper management, she gave me actually a bonus at the end of the year. She was like, Marina, like, you're doing great, like I love everything, so here's your bonus. I was like, okay, thank you very much. Da-da-da. Keep working, like everything is fine. So this maternity leave girl comes back a month later. So usually they take like 2.5, 3 months, right? So she comes back a month later after the New Year's, after I get my bonus, and all of a sudden, everything I'm doing is wrong. Everything I'm doing is wrong. I'm not doing it correctly. I was like, one time I was late, literally 20 seconds late to a meeting, because I was just like, like sometimes the computers are like a little bit off. Sometimes computers like a little bit slow. So when you need to join the meeting, especially like during the Zoom era where like nobody's trying to get the viruses passed on, or they're not trying to get sick, or they're trying to like limit interactions as much as they can so they don't get like any viruses in them, right? Potentially, a lot of the times we do Zoom meetings. So in order for you to load the whole thing, sometimes it takes a while. But it wasn't even a minute. That's the crazy part. I was literally 20 seconds left. It was crazy because I actually saw it on the screen as well. Like when they started and when I joined the meeting. Tell me why my upper management told me, no, you're always late. I don't know when you're late, when you're not. I don't have time to be tracking you. And it was just like everything started going wrong. Everything. I was literally micromanaged to me. I was like, I was getting so micromanaged, I was getting sick. I was like, are you serious? Like, I would write a letter and I wouldn't have put a comma in the right place, and that would be a problem. That was just ridiculous. Like, I could not understand what was happening. Like, I could not understand what was happening. So I tried talking to my upper management. I'm like, listen, this is crazy. Like, how come you told me everything is fine? No, okay, so everything was going bad. I tried to talk to her, and by the time I tried talking to her, like sit down, she's giving me a 60-day review notice. So basically what it is they give you 60 days. If you don't improve, they fire you, right? And you have to basically they set up a plan for you where you have to go by basically the agenda that they put up for you, so you can stay on track and they see that you're doing something to progress, and you trying to actually keep a job by doing the best that you can, right? But they give you basically an agenda that you need to be following. Like she would tell me I would want you to, I don't know, communicate with this person more, or on any issue about this, right? So it was just basically a plan and then instructions that I had to follow, right? But I also was confused. When she gave me that, I tell her, I'm like, listen, I came up to you earlier. I asked you if everything I was doing wrong. You said no. And you gave me a bonus at the end of the year. That shows me that you are happy with what I'm doing. There's nothing else in it, right? You're going to die, guys. Guess what she said to me? Guess what? She freaking said to me, I'm not confrontational. What do you mean? What does that mean? So you are upper management. You just hired somebody for your team that you need help with. You was happy with everything she was doing at first. All of a sudden something changed. You're not trying to communicate it with me, and you just right off the bat give me a 60-day notice, and you telling me like, no, everything you're doing is bad. So I was like, what is going on? She was like, I'm not confrontational. You understand? Like, I was like, are you kidding? Like, that's a lack of management. That's like, you was just, I don't even know how to even call it. Like, that was just not reliable. Like, did not feel like I was part of a team. Like, I felt like I was lied to. I felt like I was set up. I felt like I wasn't, like, getting the teamwork that I needed. And I wasn't being told the truth about my basic evaluation, and at the same time being gifted and being like, she gave me a bonus. She told me everything was fine, but all of a sudden everything is not. So it was just so confusing in my head. So at first, the week when we started this, so basically we started the 60-day review, and she told me by the end of each week we would meet and we would go over the progress that you've been doing, and this is what I need you to work on. And she literally told me, oh, don't be late to meetings, or you taking too many days off. When, and I mean, like, I wasn't taking the days off. I was actually working from home, which she was doing. And she would tell me, oh, do you want to stay home tomorrow? You can. Even though, like, we had a hybrid schedule and we have, like, a set amount of days that we have to go from the office, she would tell me, like, if you don't want to go tomorrow to office, don't go. But now she's bringing up, like, oh, you've been at home for too much. Like, I'm not able to control your work when you're working from home. Like, it was just so ridiculous. And I'm like, but I thought you was happy with everything I was doing. Like, why did you give me a bonus? Again, her answer was, I'm not confrontational. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try get this, like, you know, the first step. Like, I honestly, like, I felt betrayed, and I felt like, what the hell? So I was like, you know what, just in case, let me update my resume, let me put it up, always do it. And like, if you feel some type of way, something funny is coming up, like something that is like just not fair, I don't think you should be staying at work like that, because it's like your emotional well-being depends on it. You need to be able to work with a team that you can tolerate, and instead of like, you know, them saying one thing and it's a different thing, and you just like literally in an emotional roller coaster the whole freaking time you're at work. So I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. So the first weekend, right, after like they gave me guidelines, I'm trying to like do my best, but at the same time, I put my resume up, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a base. Guess what? Literally the next day, I'm again getting, I think I got like 9 job offers. Literally the next day. It was ridiculous. And I was like, oh, that's great. But let me see what's going on, because I kind of like the job. I kind of like how close they were. Like, there was a lot of benefits that I did like, right? But I started already getting like job offers. But I was like, okay, let me not rush. I didn't get like no job like offer letter yet, but I did get, you know, jobs reaching out to me. They're like, oh, we would like to interview you, da da da. So usually it takes like a little while, right? Especially for upper level position. You know, in a company, they're usually supposed to, go through several rounds of interview and take their time and stuff like that, is making sure that you're a right candidate. So in the meantime, while I'm being interviewed, right, because I'm like, you know what, always have something up your sleeve, always have a backup plan, always have some, that's what I believe in, right? So while I'm doing all of that, I'm like, okay, let me just try to do my best at this job. And maybe I fell off. Maybe something I am doing wrong is wrong. So I'm like, you know what? Let me tighten up while I have this on the side, right? Like, while I have all these options coming in and I'm evaluating them, I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can here. So if anything, like, you know, I might stay, or I might like, you know, just something to fall back on. So a week goes by, 1 week goes by. I'm already in the 3rd round of interviews at some of the jobs. So we were supposed to meet every Friday in this like little office. So we go to this office, we meet up. And I was literally doing, like, everything, again, they will give you an agenda of what to do, or what to follow, or how to do things, and what they expect you to do and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'll do everything they ask for, and then we'll see, how it is. Because it's like, I thought I was doing it, but now agenda's saying something else. So I was like, okay, let me just try it, right? Just in case. Friday comes around, we meet up in this office. Guess what? She's like, everything is great. You're doing great. You're doing so good. Thank you so much for this additional effort. Thank you for doing all this. But there was one instance. Oh my God, I can't even believe like how ridiculous it is. We literally sitting across from each other, and so she told me, "You going over everything is great. You are doing everything that is on agenda on the list of the things that we expect you to do. You're doing everything's great. You are doing great. Like basically exactly what we want you to do. But there is one document that you did, and so we had actually a document that I had to put together, and one of the attachments, it was not big enough. Like see how like, hear how ridiculous this freaking sound, right? She said that one of the attachment wasn't big enough. So like, she was like, well, the people who review that, are they supposed to enlarge it? Are they supposed to zoom in? Like, why? Even though literally the next page over was something like such a huge like a table with so many numbers that you have to zoom in order for you to like find information on it, right? But literally a page before, I didn't attach the large enough size of this like attachment, right? Which is a 10-second fix, literally 10 seconds. It took me 10 seconds to enlarge it, like, during the week when I was doing this task, and submit it again. Tell me why. We literally talked in the 30-minute meeting. She brought it up, and she told me, we've been talking about it for 15 minutes. And she was like, this is what's going on. I really don't like it. I want you to pay attention. And I was like, but I did fix it, right? And it literally took under 10 seconds. She was like, I understand that. I appreciate it. You're doing great. But this is crazy. Like, you need to be paying attention. This is no reason for you to do it. Like, it was just getting so ridiculous. And I was literally told myself, I'm like, listen, I'm going to wait for the final round of interviews for all my jobs, and then I'll make a decision. And at that time, when she mentioned the freaking attachment thing, and we literally started talking about it for 15 minutes, out of an important meeting that took me 10 seconds to fix, I'm like, you know what? This is getting ridiculous. And I'm literally sitting there. She's telling me. And she's like, do you have any questions? And I was like, honestly, I want actually to put my 2 weeks notice in. That's it. She was like, what? What do you mean? She was like, I'm so sorry. No. I don't want you to leave. Like, that's not what I mean. I just don't want you to be like, doing better. And I'm like, but you said I am doing better. And you said that everything was getting fine. Like, everything was exactly what you need me to do again. But all of a sudden, there's such a small thing that needs like literally 10-second attention. You spending 15 minutes to tell me like how bad at the job that I'm doing I am. Like, how like, it was just getting so ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this was great, but I can't do this anymore. And she was literally shocked. She was like, oh my God, really? I'm like, yes. And she actually like she paid me for 2 weeks, but she allowed me to stay only for like a few days. And she was like, honestly, we're paying you if you don't want to be, you don't have to stay for the whole, basically 2 weeks, whatever. And it was just, even though it was a great opportunity, even though I didn't get a job like literally the next day, or literally like I didn't have anything for me to fall back on, but I was just, well, I did have my savings, obviously, like, and I did have like I did have a backup plan in my, there would be no way I would quit a job if I had to pay bills and I didn't have no penny in my account or no penny in my pocket. That would be like, no way. That's just not a smart decision to make, right? But over here, I know I have my savings. I know that I'm having so many opportunities coming in. I'm at the final rounds of interviews. Why would I be stuck in a company that don't appreciate me. They literally throw me all around the freaking room, all around the freaking responsibilities. They're not valuing me. They're not like, it's just so much it was literally so much bullshit going on. So I was like, you know what, this is not worth it. And that's why I decided to leave. And literally the next week after, I got an offer from a job I'm working at right now. Amazing job, I love it. On a smaller scale size, a job, also very, very nice location, 100% health benefits, free parking, and more money. So I'm just saying this to say that you are worth more, and there are so many great opportunities that I don't want you to miss out on, because sometimes people like think they, just because they get this opportunity, it might be unlikely that they get something else. No, always, if you feel in any type of funny way at your current employment and you need like a job to supplement something, make sure you get your resume out there and see what other companies value you at, because there might be a company that you're really going to be, that would be fitting your schedule, be be fitting your pay requirements, would be close enough or like far enough, like, however you want it. So basically, do not settle. Just don't settle. I just wanted to give all these stories, like all the work stories, because I'm like, sometimes people don't say what they're going through exactly at the job, because they're like, I'm like, I don't know who's watching, first of all, and second of all, like, I don't want to, I just don't want to talk about it. Let me just brush it off, whatever. Like, probably nobody else is going through it. No, we are. And sometimes employees like literally treat you like shit, treat you very disposable, and it's only up to you to stay and make sure that you're good, That's all I wanted to say. So basically, the moral of the story is never settle for less than you deserve. If you have if you need to have a job, by all means, that's, the kudos to you. There's more respect to you, because, we are all grown adults. We have bills to pay. That's what it is. But make sure, do not think that just because you have this job that you're miserable at, you have to stay there and feed into all the crazy stuff that they are trying to tell you that you're supposed to be doing and stuff like that. No. Update that resume, boom, put it on LinkedIn and see how many more companies value you. And I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many more that you can pick from. So do not even hesitate. But thank you so much for hearing me out. Just wanted to give you a quick update, but I am happy right now to this fool. Just in case. I'm not trying to jinx it, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye. I might be going to the gym right now. I'm waiting for my boyfriend to come in so we can go to the gym together. But yeah, I'll talk to you later.